G'day peeps, my name is Scripps and welcome to another speed paint. Yes, I'm sorry, it's been a little while and it's actually kind of become a thing for these kind of videos. Usually they take a little longer in between each episode and it's kind of sad because I don't really mean to. It just, I don't know, the distance just sort of grows. I have less and less time to work with on my hands and it takes a while to actually make these drawings somewhat semi-decent, if that's what you could even call those. But in this episode, we actually have a topic to talk about. Which is, you know, that's become very much of a 50-50 when it comes to these videos. Either I have a topic or either I don't have a topic. That's just how it is. But in this episode, we're gonna be talking about Pokemon because I freaking love Pokemon, and also that, but because I just saw the trailer for the new games that are coming out, Sword and Shield, which you know, a lot of people have been making fun of them. A lot of freaking spicy memes have already come out, like the trebuchet and all kinds of different memes about this. But you know, I don't think it's the worst names ever. I've definitely got sick of the whole mineral, black and white, sun and moon. I think Sword and Shield is actually not that bad. I think it could have developed in a worse way. But basically, before I get too much into the game, because oh boy, I'm gonna be talking about Pokemon, but not only that, I need to get the actual drawing out of the way first, otherwise I'll never freaking get to it. So basically what we're drawing is, I'm drawing one of the first Pokemons, or one of the starter Pokemons of the Generation 8 series, and the only Pokemon that has been shown so far, but I'm gonna take my favorite pick, which is Scorbunny? Scorbunny, I think it might just be Scorbunny, I'm not quite sure. But it's basically the fire type. It's the fire starter type, because I'm a hot guy. I'm a guy on fire. Very smooth self-compliment there. But what I'm gonna be doing with this Pokemon is I'm gonna be taking them, and then I'm gonna be trying to predict, or I'm gonna try to predict what their last level evolution is gonna look like. Oh, and sorry, English is not my first language, in case you can't tell. But it was one of the more fun challenges to do when it comes to these drawing type videos, because I like being creative and I like coming up with different character designs. A little hard with Pokemon, because with Pokemon there's so much creative freedom. Like, I don't really think, there are definitely some like barriers and rules you should kind of follow to make it still look like a Pokemon. For example, it needs to not be too detailed, but other than that, then there's pretty much free reins on this field when it comes to drawing Pokemon. But I should do it more because I very much enjoyed this, and I think the design turned out okay. I think it might be something that could be in a Pokemon game. It also might just look like an amalgamation of actually existing Pokemon. I don't really know. That's up for you guys to decide. You're the judges on this one. But if I had to actually judge the original 3 starters that have been shown in this, then I think I got pretty much the same critique that most people have, and that is that they look, oh goodness, they look a lot like something we've seen before. By which I don't blame them. I don't blame the creators in any way, because well, pretty much everything has been done, and especially when it comes to the 3 original starter Pokemon, then they need to be very simplistic by design. And they're even more simplistic because, like, the lower the evolution, the more simplistic they are. I think that's kind of the rhythm that they have, and that means that it gets difficult to come up with new ideas as time goes on. And we're like, this is Generation 8, I believe, so it's no wonder that it feels like it's no wonder stuff starts feeling at least a little similar. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much to say about the game. I know it's set in what looks to be kind of like an England replicant. I don't know why. I think it's just mostly because I've seen the memes everywhere about about the main character challenging the queen and such. I've just seen that lurking around on Reddit everywhere. But that's pretty much all I know about the game, so there's not really much to talk about. This was mostly just an excuse to talk about Pokemon. And if we're already talking generations, what kind of generation were you when you grew up? Because you gotta play Pokemon. You can't not have played Pokemon. You need to say a generation. You can't tell me, no, I did not play Pokemon. You just tell me, what generation were you, kid? Come on, tell me. What generation were you really? I was kind of, oh wait, what's the generation number? I might actually have to Google this. Oh god, this is oh, I'm so bad. Oh, I'm not a real Pokemon fan. I definitely remember playing the Generation 1, I think, on my Game Boy, or maybe it wasn't even released for the Game Boy. I distinctly remember playing a Pokemon game on the Game Boy, and I think that might have been Generation 1, but you can don't call me an asshole if I'm wrong about this, that I might be completely wrong about it. But if I had to actually pick Pokemon games that I really enjoy, then my favorite, absolute favorite, is definitely Soul Silver and Diamond, maybe Platinum. I don't remember the difference, except that you could get a cooler Pokemon in Platinum, so I think Platinum. Yeah, I know I might be actually kind of a young person, but not even I am much to like the newer generations. Maybe that's because I'm already growing old. Older than I actually think. But I legitimately don't think that's actually the reason of the nostalgia. I think that's just because I had such a respect for the Pokemon designs, and I freaking love the Pokemon universe. So I just did it, especially the whole thing with the Ultra Beasts that they added in, like, what was it, Super Moon, Super Sun, I don't quite remember. But those games were definitely, I just felt like the designs got way too Digimon-y, like way too detailed, way too monstrous. And it kind of started happening with like around Black and White. I don't remember, but the last game I definitely, or if I had to pick like favorites, that would definitely be it. Soul Silver and Platinum. Platinum was, I believe, the game I played the most, because that's the one I have the most memories about, like as a child, because I went back and played Soul Silver, and that was a freaking, that was a dang old time. I think that's the longest the longest Pokemon game, just because you can fight Red at the end and everything. But Platinum, I remember being like the hardest, and just the one that's most close and dear to my heart, freaking Infernape for the win. I know that pretty much everyone knows now that starter Pokemons are actually not that good, but I kept my Infernape, and he got strong, he got a body, he got very buff, and he helped me get through Cynthia, who I believe is actually the hardest champion in any freaking Pokemon game there is. My god, I still remember having trouble with her till this very day. God, man, I just love Pokemon. I freaking love Pokemon. And it's not just the games, I also love the show, which is very weird because I don't feel like I've watched like I wasn't a fan who watched all the shows, but of the movies I watched like as a kid, I really enjoyed them. I remember there was a time where I actually went to China, and I remember I had like almost an existential crisis about kind of growing old, and well, because I went to China, I couldn't watch any of the television shows that I usually watched. And I know that pretty much every kid goes through kind of like an existential crisis, but mine was that mine was my realization that Pokemon was not a universe I could live in. I guess it was just that it was kind of like the way that most people feel about anime. Like I get that exact feeling with a really good anime, like kind of the realization that, yeah, this is not real. That's the realization I got with Pokemon, but just at a much earlier age, and that's why I remember it so well. But I really want to go back and watch it now. Maybe it's completely mediocre in comparison to maybe like my nostalgia has totally placed it up on the throne. But yeah, I enjoyed the movies and the shows, and I think it was just, that was my gateway to anime, definitely. Not to talk about anime. If I end up talking about anime, this conversation's lost. I can just I can throw everything on the table and just call it a lost day, because I'll be sitting here talking on for ages. So yeah, back to the games. The games that I don't know. I've just also, as I've grown older, you know, now I live in my own apartment, I can't play the games. I just watched the trailer and I'm sitting here drawing fan art for a game that I likely won't be able to get, because I don't have a Nintendo 3DS, which I think it comes out on, and I don't have a Switch, which I also think the game comes out on. I actually don't remember which consoles the game's released on, because I didn't even play the Alola version. The only reason that I'm judging the game now is because of the designs, and I didn't like the whole tropical theme of it. I mean, I think it was a nice twist and all to it, but I don't know, I just didn't like the spin-off, the tropical spin-offs of all the regular Pokemon, that everything had to be tropical themed. I kind of felt like the games needed to have all these different like area themes on their own, so they didn't all have to be Tiki Torch Island themed. But this seems to be taking place back, or the new game seems to be taking place just back in some good old country with different kind of zones and areas you can go to. I know there's snowy mountains and all kinds of different stuff, and I can't wait to see the new designs. I'm kind of worried because they only really showed like old designs we've already seen before. The only new ones we've seen are the starters. So I really hope to see some great new designs. No more American ice cream designs, please. Thank you very much. But at least it's taking place back in a place with multiple zones, so it's a step in the right direction. Just too sad that I, as a total extreme fan of Pokemon, is gonna sit here with no 3DS and still having not played X and Y, freaking Sun and Shine, freaking Moon, whatever freaking names you give them. And I'll not be able to play Shield and Sword either, just because I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So I'm just gonna sit here in all my nostalgic fandom and I'm gonna scream about how good the old games are and how I don't like the new games because I haven't really been allowed to play them. It's so sad. Not that I actually disagree with the devs though. I think the 3D perspective is a good idea. It's definitely necessary to be fresh, and also I think it makes the universe more, I don't know, realistic. And I thought I would really mind the 3D perspective compared to the top-down perspective, but it's outdated at this point. It feels like something you could make in RPG Maker, so I don't mind it. And the new game looks freaking beautiful, and I love the character. I love the just the kind of anime designs the humans have. I just hope the new game has some really freaking cool and new Generation 8 designs. So that's gonna be cool. That's basically all I'm looking forward to. But anyways, that's all I pretty much got for this video. As I mentioned, then I actually drew this beforehand, so I know what the drawing looks like, and I was kind of happy with the end result, although I kind of had the same fear that I believe every single designer of the Pokemon game company has, and that is that it might kind of look like something that already exists, or like an amalgamation of different creatures that already exist in the universe. I decided to make Scorbunny, I think that's still the name, Scorbunny's evolution kind of like ground themed, because I think it would be a cool fire/ground theme, although I don't know if it's already been announced what kind of type the evolution's gonna be, because usually like the last evolution is a mix of different ones, and I just think, I don't know, kind of brownish, so I decided to give him a ground theme, but I don't know, maybe I'm just colorblind. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you get to play the new games when they finally come out. And if you really do, or if you play it yourselves, then please enjoy it on my behalf. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.